So we have Danny Abraham and Nicholas Wendell, who are the organizers of this Hovid project.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're filmmakers based in LA. I'm a producer, writer. Nick's a director, writer, producer, all those things. And we thought, what better way to make something in quarantine together when we can't be together than to make other people make content with us.
Well, it's such a great idea. Now, well, first of all, this is a movie that is Hocus Pocus from Disney. Are you getting any trouble with them at all about this?
I think when it comes to recreating or reimagining anyone's creative
Work.
content, creative work that already exists or is owned by another larger corporation, you risk that. All that said, I mean, there's countless Disney parodies that exist on the internet at this point. We've talked to lawyers. Pretty much a lot of people that we spoke to are like, you know, it could be interpreted badly, but everything that we're doing is positive. We're not insulting or offending the original work in any way.
We're not trying to profit off of it either. It's strictly by fans for fans.
Right. Exactly. So there will be a beautiful, well-worded disclaimer by our lawyer friend who has graciously helped us through this process. And you know, hope for the best. At the end of the day, this is a project that we wanted. We wanted to make this project positive when, you know, there's not a lot of positivity in the world right now, and like it would be kind of a shame if someone
wanted to try and like save Halloween in a way, because we know Halloween is more or less canceled this year for the most part of this country and probably the world. So we thought, what way, you know, could we maybe try and bring some magic back into, you know, people's lives while also being safe? And, you know, crowdsourcing has been around for a while. There's been other films that have been crowdsourced before. And so Danny kind of reached out to me and said, so I have this idea. And Danny and I are like embarrassingly huge fans of Hocus Pocus. And that's where, you know, we thought, well, what better film for Halloween than our favorite film?
Sister?
Come, we fly! We fly!
So how many people signed up to do this? Do you have a total count of how many people are putting this together?
I just checked. It looks like it's about 160 signups that we had. We had about 130 to 90-second scenes to assign to people. So not everyone who signed up was able to get a scene, which is sad, but obviously for us a great problem to have, because inevitably we may have to reach out to these waitlisted people and ask them for their help in the final hours. I have to just say I am overwhelmed and absolutely mind blown by the reaction that this thing got, because I was literally laying on my floor, like bored, and I had this idea and I was like, no one's gonna do this. And next thing I know, we have a Google document. It's a Google document. Like, is this legit? I don't know. Are people gonna think it's legit? I don't know. And everyone seems to be doing it, and they're sending us their scenes, and they're incredible. And like, every time I get one, I start to cry, and I call Nick. Did you watch this?
It's a reminder how, you know, how this film stands the test of time. And, you know, it's been around since '93, and it just never gets old. It's like fine wine, it gets better with age, and the fan base just keeps growing, which is beautiful. And I think this project, you know, among all the other things happening around the film every year, is a great reminder how loyal the fans are. And the fact that I think the first 2 days that we launched the actual, you know, like announcement, we had so many signups because people were like, oh my God, because I mean, you know, it's just Danny and myself, but all of it looked so legit that they were like, oh my God, I gotta be part of this. So we got pretty bombarded the first few days. And that's why we had the disclaimer saying first come, first serve, because we're like, we gotta get them assigned as they come in versus, you know, kind of, it's been quite the journey. Yeah, it's been a learning experience at the same time too, because we've never really done this before. So it's been fun, but also educational.
So are all the scenes pretty much going to be done? I know today is your day when you're having everyone send them in.
Today is when Danny and I get to feel like a professor or a teacher in school, where it's like hand in your assignments and who's done on time and who's going to be late with them. We've gotten one or two dropouts last night, which we're like, well, you've had more time than that to give us a heads up. But with Danny, I've been talking about this a lot. This has been created for people to have fun. So, and life happens. So it's all about, we have backup plans to get all the scenes completed, because obviously you can't have the whole film with, 3 or 4 scenes missing. But I think what's been the most rewarding so far is to see everyone's individual creativity come together to make all these scenes, because every scene is going to be different. Every scene is going to be a different way it was shot, the way the characters looked. Were they live action? Were they toys? Were they, handmade? Like I think that's the beauty of crowdsourcing projects, is you get to really see everyone's individual take or individual's ability to recreate a scene from their favorite film.
I think one of my favorite scenes that we actually received so far also might be our lowest production quality that we've received so far too. It was I think it was 5 girls in their basement, and they found clothing that similarly matched the costumes, that in terms of colors, and it looked like they had the most fun. And I was getting email updates from the participants the entire way through, being like, we're having so much fun. This is one of the most like thrilling experiences we've had since COVID or quarantine started. And to be honest with you, like, yes, some of the work that we're getting is exceptional and insanely creative and stuff that I don't think I can do. And I'm a filmmaker, and and I'm absolutely like blown away by the talent and creativity. But for me, it's been the people who have been sending us back submissions that have just passion and heart behind it. And I can't wait to plug those into the sequence alongside some of these very high quality DreamWorks animation level pieces as well. Yeah. So.
And actually, we've gotten a few people who, because the problem is, when you cut up a film, you have certain scenes that are going to be more popular or cooler than others. So we've had some people say, is this the only scene you guys can give me? As in like, well, it's tricky because you want to make everyone happy, but you can't give everyone the cool scenes. There's other scenes that are going to be less cool that have to be done too in order to complete the film. So it kind of feels rough sometimes to be like, you got to, kind of put a foot down, but it's like, we also, it's like, we all got to play our part to make this work. We can't all get our favorite scenes. It's like, you want to be part of this? Great, but you got to take what you're given. You can't always, we've accommodated, I think, 1 or 2 people saying, okay, we'll give you a different scene because we're not monsters. But it's been tricky sometimes to be like, oh, like we felt bad. We're like, oh, we're going to give them this scene. But it's like, that's all that's left at this point too, so it's like first come, first serve.
Yeah. That just, gets anyone who's interested in animation or filmmaking in general, sometimes you have to deal with the scene that's not the most popular and you just got to get it done.
And people have been very creative in taking those less exciting scenes and actually making them fun by how they've used their creativity or whatever they had around to make it happen. So they actually made a boring scene entertaining to watch with how they made it.
I just changed my mind on my favorite submissions to date. Can I talk about this? Can I?
Sure, yeah. Is it the one with the, yeah.
You wanna share it, or can you share?
Yeah. Oh, we can
share a screen. Maybe
share it with you.
Here it comes. Oh,
did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play it because it is so creative, and they decorated their house for Halloween. Probably we're gonna do it already, but they went all out.
It's very unexpected, which I think makes it even funnier.
It looks like they didn't have enough people to complete the scene, so a full-grown man played an 8-year-old girl, and he had a sock puppet Big Brother. And you know what? Brilliant.
And it worked. And it worked.
And all the dialogue was there. The story
Yep.
will be able to progress to the next scene without any like hiccups.
And that's the main goal with this project, is really, you know, you can do whatever you want with the scene as long as the dialogue stays the same, so that, as Danny was saying, it can go from scene A to B to C to D. So what you do within your scene is up to you, as long as you stick to the dialogue. So, and he clearly, you know, went with it, and it's the funniest thing.
We're having a good time with it. Like we obviously love the very high production quality ones that we're receiving as well, which I don't want to share because I want those to be a surprise. But
Yeah.
But also,
it's been really cool to see, and I think that's what's going to make this so fun to watch too, is because people are going to watch this are going to be fans of the film, so they're already going to know the story, but they're going to want to watch it to see the variety in people's creativity. So that's what we're really excited about.
What do you want to say to those people that made the film or watching the film?
I think, well, first off, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's participated in any way, shape, or form, whether that was, you know, animating a scene or shooting with your friends or drawing a scene, whatever it might have been, just being creative and taking time to be part of this fun, albeit very insane project. And I think our message really, at least how I see it, is there's really nothing you can't do with just a little creativity. It's amazing what we've all been able to pull off so far together. And none of us even really stepped in the same room as each other. And so I think I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's participated and anyone who is going to watch this project that everyone put together.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, it's very humbling to see people come together and show their appreciation for the film, but also show, in a way, their trust in us, because we're complete strangers to them and they're strangers to us, but we've been able to actually come together and create something together while apart. So it's been really fun and humbling just to be able to do all this together with strangers from all over the world.
I'm just curious, where are you planning to show it?
YouTube. That's our main
Platform.
Entertainment these days, and it's our main platform that I think we're trying to build and grow as well. I think what's great, and like you mentioned, like, you know, how are we gonna have Thanksgiving, how are we gonna have Halloween? You know, 5 or 6 months ago when this all started, people were asking the same question, like, how are we gonna have Passover Seders, how are we gonna do 4th of July barbecues? And then Zoom was invented. Well, Zoom's been around, but Zoom was like became
popular.
Right.
And everyone realized, whoa, we can do all these things together still without being in the same room. And so taking that same principle, there's no reason why creators who most of the time are honestly working at desks full time. I mean, you know, you look at behind the scenes photos of film sets all the time and you think they all have to be done with 100 people in a room together. And that's just really not the case. Like, I mean, you're an animator and you're able to create this stuff by yourself. And, you know, we're filmmakers and I'm creating my own scene by myself. Stay tuned for that. We'll see how that turns out. But like, I think like there's taking these same principles of just being in a room, but together, you can do a lot of things together. You just have to be a little creative.
One more little plug we wanted to mention, which Danny and I got really, really excited over, is that Jason Marsden noticed our Hovid Povid activity on Twitter. He was the voice of Thackeray Binks, the black cat in the film. And he actually retweeted Danny's tweet and expressed his enthusiasm to check out the finished project, which is really exciting.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah, that was pretty huge. And I did a very happy dance when I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Anime Educated. I wish you a happy Halloween and can't wait to see the film when it comes out.
And you too can check out the new Hovid Povid channel on YouTube. If you enjoyed this interview, please subscribe to Animated Educated or leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.